Trigger warning, you are now watching Wrestle AM, coming to you live courtesy of KocoSports.com. That's KocoSports.com. Of course, this is Boom Boom here, the sexiest man on all Internet Wrestling Radio, coming to you live from the RVA, Richmond, Virginia. Well, doing some Impact Wrestling tonight. Covered the February 16th edition of Impact, courtesy of Anthem Sports. Of course, the first question we're going to ask tonight is the first question we ask every review we do. What do you give tonight's show? Do you give it a win, a loss, or a tie? So over here in the chat room or down here in the comment section, please let me know what you thought about tonight's show, win, loss, or tie. After much pondering, I'm going to give tonight's show, I think I'm going to be generous. I'm going to give it a tie. It's not the worst show that I've ever seen, especially for Impact, but it's definitely nowhere near the best. I really felt like this show, it was kind of a mishmash. Like they had some things backwards, and by that, I mean there were some angles that they should have sped up, and there were other angles that they should have slowed down. There were some entertaining facets to it, and actually some pretty impressive things under the circumstances. I'm going to get to all that in just a second. So I want to thank everybody here for joining us live. So feel free to keep your questions and comments coming. So let's get down and dirty with it here. They opened up with a couple of recaps. They talked about the Hardys' teleportation to Tijuana, Mexico, and then also the vicious turn of Davey Richards on his, I guess now former tag team partner, Eddie Edwards. They start the show, and they do this crazy thing on Impact. They start out with a fucking wrestling match. It's amazing. They recap two things. It didn't even take 5 minutes. They start the show. Boom, we have a match, which I love. So way to go, Impact. Props to you on that. They start out with a mixed tag match, not intergender, mixed tag match. It's Rosemary and Crazy Steve representing the Decay, taking on the improv little tag team here of Brandy Rhodes and Moose. Not a bad match. It was a relatively short. It looked like you were going to see Rosemary and Brandy Rhodes square off, but no, Crazy Steve tagged in. So Crazy Steve and Moose did a bulk of the match. You had Rosemary come in. It distracted Brandy Rhodes, so Moose took a brunt of the offense from the Decay. Eventually, Brandy Rhodes interjected herself. She did a few moves there. He did a nice exchange with Rosemary, hit a missile drop kick, few kicks, punches, and chops. There was a nice spot where Moose and Brandy Rhodes were hitting they were throw like a jab, Moose, throw another jab, Moose. They hit, I guess, the Game Changer at the same time in stereo. They get the win. I think it was okay. Definitely, I mean, for an opening match, definitely not bad. Entertained by it. I think Brandy's very limited in the ring right now. She's going to have to get some more training, so I think she was showcased well in a mixed tag team match. I think they didn't expose her too much. She was entertaining in the facets that she was involved, so well done all around. Then we get to the next segment where Eddie Edwards just storms out, obviously wanting to know what the fuck is up with Davey Richards. He just basically says he wants to beat Davey Richards' ass. Understandable. And then Angelina Love came out instead of Davey Richards. She actually came out to his music, which I think was a nice touch. I really felt like this was the part. This feud right here is something that they sped up on and they really should have slowed down on. Now, here's what happened. Angelina Love, talked about, well, where have you been? When Davey tore his ACL, where were you? I was 9 months pregnant and I was helping him hobble around on crutches. Where were you? Did you call him? Did you text him? Did you even stop by? No, you completely turned your back on your brother. Then when he came back, you ignored him. So you know what? And then that's why you did that. And then finally, Eddie Edwards said, hey, Angelina, she introduced Davey Richards. Eddie fired back, said, you know what, Angelina, when you go get your purse, go hand Richards' balls back so he can come down here and I can beat his ass. They went down there. They were looking like they were starting to brawl, but security came out and separated them. Now, that wasn't necessarily bad. I just think you really could have slowed down on this and milked it for all it was worth. Like, you could have done almost virtually everything that they did. But here's what I would have done different. I would have still had Angelina Love come out to Davey Richards' music. I would have had her say the exact same thing and be like, you know, you don't make call shots. I will introduce him. He'll come out when he's damn good and ready. And then I would just have Eddie Edwards go, oh, well, if he's not going to come out here, well, allow me to go to the back. And as soon as he starts out walking, you have Angelina's like, you're going to have to go through me first. And obviously TNA's not, or Impact's not going to allow, male on female violence. So then you have security cut him off. And then you can have Angelina Love just taunt Eddie Edwards, just taunt him and be like, you know what? If you got a death wish, that's fine, but you're going to have to wait till next week. And if you're lucky, maybe Davey will explain his side of the story and just kind of leave that suspense there. I would not have these two touch for at least another couple of weeks. I would have this build up. Then the next week, I would have Davey Richards come out. Everything that he said on the stage tonight, I would have had him said that. I would have had him say that the next week. And again, same thing. I would have had these two kind of, they kind of touch, they kind of brawl, but they quickly get separated. Some kind of, I would have had like management says that, these two, if you're going to go, it's going to be in a sanctioned match. You two are not going to get in a street fight here. And or if if you two want to go beat each other up in an alley, that's your business, but you're not going to do this in our arenas. So I have, and then the next week I would just make Eddie Edwards just beg, who's ever the management, like, please make this match happen. I don't care. It could be a street fight, falls count anywhere, no disqualification, I don't care. I just want to get my hands on Davey Richards. And eventually I would have said, okay, we'll do that. We'll do it next week. Then they could have had a match. And then I would have had Angelina Love, get involved. And it's just, it's not satisfying. It's not a satisfying end. And then they have to have another match. And eventually I would have it booked up to where they get into a steel cage match. That's what I would build up to. And that would be the blow off. I would finally just have it to where the American Wolves battling out inside a steel cage. I could have Eddie Edwards' wife go out there. Angelina Love's trying to get involved. She's trying to climb over the cage, trying to hand, Richards a weapon or something. And then the wife comes out, yanks her down, throws her up against the cage, chop, chop, punch, throw in the barricade. Okay, now, Richards doesn't have any backup whatsoever. It's one-on-one, and here you go. And there you go. And from there, you can either decide that could be the blow-off, you end the feud right there, or you could carry it on the next week and just have Richards go, did you really think it would end with that? Did you really think it was over? And, you could go a million different ways with it, but that's how I would have booked it. This, I just felt like you rushed it because you don't want these two guys to touch. I want this to build up. I want to sell tickets. I want people, to feel that frustration from Eddie Edwards that, like, I just can't get my hands on him. And then when I just get my hands, I get yanked away. There's this woman getting involved. I can't hit her, can't hit her, kayfabe, can't hit her. And just finally, when he gets his hands on him, it'll be satisfying. Then they had the longest painful fucking segment and here's the thing, this is the one that they should have sped up, but they slowed it the fuck down, was this whole Mike Bennett, Braxton Sutter, bachelor party, Allie, Maria Kanellis, all this bullshit. I mean, it was just physically fucking painful to watch because it just kept going. I was like, okay, at least the segment's over. And then it would pop back up again. Like, okay. Well, there's the wedding's gonna be next week, so then it'll end. We can get the wrap, and then they do another segment, and I'm like, fuck. Can we fucking wrap this shit up? Do we have to have this shit drug out for the course of the entire goddamn 2 fucking hours? Fuck me, god damn it, that fucking took freaking forever. Drove me fucking crazy. I don't know, what did you think about it, Infantry? Did it drive you crazy? Because it was driving me fucking insane. Because it just kept going. It wouldn't fucking stop. And there was like 6 people involved in this. And I was like, I didn't give a shit about any of them except for Allie. I like it. I don't know. Allie's grown on me. Braxton Sutter, yeah, Bennett, Canellis, I've always liked them. The extras, not, whatever, take it or leave it. And by the way, for those of you who are young and not married, can I just tell you right now, let me give you some, let old man Booms here give you some grown-up advice. Don't have a bachelor party because it will suck. I have been to like 4 or 5 bachelor parties in my life. Every single one has sucked. Because I know what you're thinking. Oh, it's like this big wild party with all your friends and you're drinking beer, you're doing shots, you got like a stripper there. No, it does not work that way. It usually involves you, a handful of friends, half of which you don't know because remember, this is your buddy, getting married here, your buddy getting married. Or even if it's you, some of your friends ain't going to know the other ones because you got family members and you got longtime friends, and while you've been apart or something, they've made some new friends, and so it's kind of awkward. There's no chicks there, and then you just usually buy like some kind of case of cheap beer, so there you are, staring at people you don't know, drinking Coors Light, going, oh God, look at the time, it's 8:30, I'm fucking tired. And you ain't nobody getting a fucking stripper. You ain't getting a fucking. Let me tell you something. If I didn't have a bachelor party specifically, well, also because of this reason, well, this was one of many reasons why I didn't. You think my wife was going to let a fucking stripper, No. You think any of my buddies, I'm talking like my brother, my cousin, had a couple of fraternity brothers, man. You think their significant others were going to let fucking strippers? Fuck, no. So, no, that shit don't happen. That shit's only for the movies. So now I'm going to come down off my soapbox because I'm dragging on too long. But bottom line is, kids, moral of the story, bachelor parties are fucking lame. Don't do them. I would just say go get trashed, and then whatever. Then we get to Kingston representing the DCC taking on Jessie Godderz. This match was a lot better than what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was just going to be a squash match with Kingston. He's representing the DCC winning. However, but Kingston missed a back fist. Godderz, he followed up with a springboard forearm. He gets the win, and then the lights go off, and then Jessie Godderz did the smartest thing I have seen in professional wrestling in 2017 thus far. I'm dead serious. I'm not fucking trolling here. Jessie Godderz, after beating Kingston, did the smartest fucking thing ever. The lights go out. We all know the DCC is going to pop up in the ring, or the lights come up, and it's just the DCC in the ring. Jessie Godderz is fucking bailed. He's got up on the fucking ramp. And I'm like, that is the smartest goddamn thing that anybody has ever done in professional wrestling this year. He knows the ass whooping's coming. He knows he's not going to beat 3 people. Even if one of them's incapacitated, it's still a 2-on-1 beatdown. He knows what's coming. The lights goes off. He does what any fucking smart man should have done. He bailed the fuck out the ring and said, fuck this, I'm out of here. And then there's the DCC with their fucking cock in their hand. Like, where did he go? Oh, shit, he's up the ramp. That's like, bless you, Jessie Godderz. Give yourself a Barry Horowitz. More bachelor party shit. More bachelorette party shit. Then you did Tyrus hosting the Fact of Life segment, brings out Eli Drake. Eli Drake, of course, blasting Tyrus for his decisions at Open Fight Night and for accepting the 3-on-2 handicap match against the DCC. And then basically tried to put Tyrus in his place, saying, I'm the one who wrestles in the main event. You're the guy who watches. I pay you to watch my back. I own you. Tyrus took exception, grabbed him by the neck, and says, no. No one owns me, and I'll see your ass in the ring next week. Then they did some more of the Hardys in Tijuana, Mexico with Conan. And I think it's Crash. I think Crash is the promotion. They're doing that where they were going to take on Psychosis and Super Crazy. And then, I don't know why, but I found this backstage meeting that they had with Conan fucking hilarious. And Conan's like, dude, I can't pay you. I don't have the means. And they're like, no, we're not here for your pesos. We're here for the titles. And Conan's like, wait a minute. You're going to wrestle like my top guys in my arena and you're not going to charge me? And he's like, yeah, we're here for the titles. We're not here for money. And he's like, and then he's like, oh, yeah, totally. You should totally let that happen as soon as they walk off. Conan tells like one of the guys backstage, dude, we've hit the lottery. Go get as much bootleg Hardy stuff as you can and get it out there and sell it quick. I don't know why, but I found that fucking hilarious. I was kind of disappointed because all they showed was clips from the Hardy Super Crazy Psychosis match. By the way, it's good to see that Super Crazy and Psychosis are still wrestling and still looking good too. So next, I'm going to be honest here. It was Brooke versus Sienna. I had to go do husband stuff because when your wife says do shit, go do it. I read everything here. Sienna was choking Brooke. Maria yelled at Brooke, and then Brooke grabbed her hair. Sienna hit a fallaway slam. Brooke slipped out of the finish maneuver and rolled up. Sienna got the win, so Brooke wins. So congratulations to Brooke. She's getting back into the whole knockouts thing. I didn't see the match, so I really can't comment on too much. Let's see. Then next, let's see. They were trying to watch a porn at the bachelor party. No, thank you. Eli Drake saying that he's gonna wrap a 32-inch bat around Tyrus, hyping up their match for next week, which I like. I think it was a little bit of overkill, but then again, I'd rather see this more than the bachelor party stuff. Then next they bring out Lashley. Lashley's talking about, he fights, he lives to battle, nobody can hang with him. And then Josh Barnett comes out. He actually calls him Bob, which I thought was funny. Barnett saying that, he's not living up to the expectations of being a champion. And Barnett said he was there on Impact to show him a lesson. So he needs to conduct himself like a champion, needs to carry himself like a champion, that he's worthy of carrying the belt. Lashley is like, well, welcome to the Impact Zone, but don't do that here. Yeah, you're a top 10 fighter. You do great in MMA, but you know what? There are rules in MMA. In my world, there are no rules. And if you know what's good to you, you're going to shut the hell up. You're going to go to the back and just continue watching. Barnett tries to lock an armbar on Lashley, but Lashley shrugs him off. And finally, Lashley, accepts his challenge. I think it's going to be next week. He said, well, all he says that Lashley said he'd fight anyone, anytime. He would put the championship on the line. I'm really not a huge fan of, this somebody who just walks in and automatically gets a title shot. But I think it makes sense because, there's Barnett, he's an MMA guy. He, kind of goads Lashley into it. And Lashley does need an opponent. I don't know where this comes from. He doesn't hold himself as a champion, doesn't conduct himself as a champion. But, hell, he's the champion. He's fucking earned it one way or the other. Back to the bachelor party. Everybody's passed out. Sutter, he's about ready to walk out, but then he notices everybody, so he yanks the one guy off the couch, slides the stripper onto Mike Bennett, takes a picture with his phone, and I think either he called Maria or he texted a picture of the stripper laying with Bennett. I want to see where this is going because I admit that was kind of funny. I want to kind of see where they do with this. Then next we get to the Eddie Edwards, Davey Richards street fight. These two were throwing haymakers. Edwards missed a chop and hit his hand on the ring post. Richards took advantage of Edwards' misstep there and kept working on the arm. They went to a commercial break, which I hated because this is the main event, and I kind of hated, we got about 15 minutes left in the show, and 5 minutes of that was commercial break. Fuck. Edwards, he did a suicide dive to the outside. They brought some chairs in the ring, but Alicia, that's Eddie Edwards' wife, she ran in the ring, attacked Richards. Angelina Love took her out. They handcuffed her to the rope. They both used chairs. Now, this is the point where it really didn't make sense to me, is they've got this one spot where they've got Alicia handcuffed to the ring, and then Angelina Love is going over there to go, bash out Alicia's brains with a fucking chair. And there's fucking Earl Hebner just standing there stop, no. I'm yes, I understand this is a street fight, anything goes, but these are two non-combatants here, and you got to think, as a referee, you got to have some basic human compassion, and plus, it's going to be involved with two people who are not even supposed to be out there, not even supposed to be in the match. They could have done some things where he tried to break. At least try to act like you give a shit, Earl. At least act like you give a fuck. try to like take the chair from her. Not, 'cause I understand with the combatants, it's a street fight. There's no disqualification, no count out, but it's not between those two. It's between the women. But Edwards does a heroic thing where he covers his wife. He takes the chair shots. They roll him back over. They put a chair on his face and they hit him with another one. And then for no fucking reason whatsoever, they low blow Earl Hebner. They kiss, and then they kiss again, or Angelina Love and Davey Richards kiss, and then they get over the downed Eddie Edwards kiss over him. There's Earl Hebner still grabbing his balls. And I was like, wait a minute. This makes no sense. I mean, Hebner really wasn't trying to stop you before, and yet you low blow. I mean, you had him beat. I understand maybe you don't want to. This is why I think you could have drug this out, because this could have been like their first encounter. Like after waiting like 2 and 3 weeks, this could have been the encounter, and it not be satisfying, and you want to like drag it out even longer. You could have done this, but it made no sense. I mean, the bad guys had everything in hand. They had victory assured. All Davey Richards had to do, I mean, he had to take his pinky finger and just stick it on top of Eddie Edwards anywhere on his fucking body, and he would have got the win, because Edwards is out. Richards, all he has to do, put a fucking pinky finger on him. He's done. But no, for no reason, they low blow the referee. There's no disqualification, so it ends in like, okay, this ends in a no contest. I mean, you got to think logically. Okay, let's just say they're doing that because they're being the heels. Why doesn't another referee go out there and count 3? I mean, why do you have to have Angelina Love do what she did? I mean, it makes no sense. I like the feud. I just don't like how they've executed it. So overall, that's why I'm going to give it a tie. There were some good things about it. I did like the mixed tag match, even for its faults. I did like Jessie Godderz being smart, getting out of the ring with Kingston. The Tyrus Eli Drake stuff I liked. The Hardys I liked. Those guys are going to be in Mid-Atlantic Wrestling next. I wish they would have shown more of the actual match. Brooke versus Sienna, I really didn't. I'm going to be honest. I was having to do a chore here around the house, so I really didn't watch that. I did like the Lashley Barnett thing. The main event was okay. I think it could have been a lot better. So all in all, it was a tie. So if you're if you're kind of like, if you're kind of up in the air about it, you could probably skip this and not really feel like you missed anything. So, like I said, I'm going to give it a tie. It's hit or miss. If you're a hardcore TNA fan, check it out. If you're just kind of like, should I or shouldn't I really got something else better to do, I think you can skip it and you'll be just fine. I think I've explained everything well enough to where if you skip tonight's episode and you go watch next week, you should be on the up and up. All right, let's get to your questions and comments, and let's do this here. Crazy J Ray, he gives tonight's show a loss for me because too much talking and not enough wrestling. Amen. I mean, there were only like 4 matches here. I mean, we're getting like SmackDown territory, like as far as matches. And yeah, to me, the whole bachelor party, the whole bachelorette party, the shit going on there, it just drug out too damn long. At least the Hardy stuff was entertaining. You could justify carrying that all the way through. But that's what killed it for me. Was if you would, you could have done 1 or 2 segments. Something for the bachelor party, something for the bachelorette party, then put in another fucking match. I don't know. I want to see wrestling on a wrestling show. I know, crazy. Victor Varela, I think I just fucked up your name, but my apologies. This is a strong tie for me. Victor says the alley stuff is too much for me, and they should show the match for the Tijuana champs better, or show the complete match. Yeah, I really felt like they should have done that too, because I feel like, if you couldn't put another match in, you could have cut out a lot of the backstage stuff, because you didn't really need Eli Drake and Tyrus going out. Eli Drake confirming, what we already knew, that he's pissed off at Tyrus. They're going to have a match next week. You could have cut that out. You could have cut out several of the Allie, Braxton Sutter stuff, and you could have showed that actual match. Maybe it has to do with copyrights. I don't know. But I figured if Conan's going that far to allow TNA cameras there, to allow this stuff on TNA there, why would you not do it? Um, Andy Paps Blue Ribbons in the house. He says a strong tie, too many backstage segments. I agree. Let's see. Andy Paps says, Booms, did you hear about what Lucha Underground did to TNA? Could you be more specific, sir? Let's see. Oh, and Chauncey Bullock, and I know he's here because it's, oh, Brother Booms, I knew you would come. It just would not be a show without Chauncey now. It just really, without Chauncey Bullock going, I knew you'd come. It's okay. This is like a new rule. It's not officially a show until Chauncey Bullock shows up and says, "Oh, brother," and if it's either me, Sammy, or LK, or Hill on the Winter Blue Moons, Dave, Coco, it's not officially a show now until he says, "Oh, I knew you'd come." So there we go. Victor wants more X Division matches. I agree. Andy Pep says, when I get married, I'm going to a hockey game before the wedding happens. That's a safe bet. That's good. That's good. Me, I always joke when one girl that I was with, she asked me, well, oh, what are you going to do with the bachelor party? You going to invite a stripper over? You going to fuck some whores? Yeah, that's why I'm not with her anymore. Now I'm with my current wife. No, I said, no, I'm going to get my friends and we're going to go to a wrestling match. And she just thought that was the weirdest fucking thing ever. And I'm like, okay, you went from complaining that I was going to have strippers and have sex with strippers to thinking it was weird that I'm going to a wrestling event. And don't get married, kids, unless you're ready. Impact really needs to focus on the X Division and not stupid storylines, more wrestling, less talking. Yeah, I think... I mean, look, there's nothing wrong with the backstage segments. There's nothing wrong with storylines because, I mean, sometimes you need to have storylines because the whole purpose of a storyline is to set up conflict that can be resolved via a wrestling match. That's the whole purpose of any storyline. And there's nothing wrong with it, but you can't, but when you keep going back to the same story over and over and over and over again and running it into the ground, yeah, that's when I have a problem with it. I really felt like, yeah, they could do more wrestling. They could have had the X Division match. They could have put a tag team match in. They could have defended the whatever that fucking championship Drew Galloway has. It escapes me right now. The Grand Championship. Really felt like they could have done that. They could have put somebody else out there. It'd been fun. Crazy Jerry, if I get married, me and my wife are going camping and fishing. Oh, I bet you will. I bet you will. Okay, Andy Paps is clarifying here. Lucha Underground threatened to sue TNA if they aired it because the ref is a Lucha Underground ref. Ah, that must have been Marty. Okay, that makes a little bit more sense now. Was it Marty Elias? Because that's the only one I really know with Lucha Underground. I guess he's working for Conan and Crash. And speaking of the Crash promotion, I kind of hope that's where Lucha Underground goes to get some more of their Mexican talent because, you know, AAA doesn't sound like they're doing too well right now. And you know they're not going to work with CMLL because CMLL's with working with New Japan. Well, but then again, that doesn't really necessarily mean anything. So hopefully Crash will be somebody promotion that they work with. So what they did there, they blurred the faces. Okay, that makes a little bit more sense. That makes a little bit more sense. AAA and Lucha Underground are petty for that. I don't know if it's petty. I just know that they're trying to. It's Lucha Underground is done in such a way. It's like a TV show. AAA's going through their own problems right now, and I think it's just they don't want other promotions to make money off their property. So whether you agree with it or not, I think it's a business decision. I think it's pretty smart, but I kind of agree with you. It is a little petty. I would love for Josh Barnett to replace the Pope on the commentary team, and then Crazy Jerry refers back. I'd like to see Josh Matthews get replaced by almost anyone. And you know who I'd like to see? I would actually, and this one may be a bold idea, but it really got me thinking when they did the Brooke Sienna match. I know it was, God, who was it? Madison Rain. When she was commenting, because I could hear a little bit of the match in the background, but Madison Rain was doing commentary. And guys, let me run this past you here. I want you to tell me if you think this is a good idea or a bad idea. What if TNA, or excuse me, Impact. I'm going to quit calling them TNA because Anthem's gotten them now. I think they're going to try to phase out the TNA, and they should. I'm going to say Impact. Do you think Impact should have a female play-by-play? Because nobody else has got that. At least no other promotion that I know of. Maybe there's like some indie promotion out somewhere. It's got some kind of local TV deal. But what would you say to? I'm not saying Madison Rain, but I'm just saying, what if they got rid of Josh Matthews, who, says for some reason he's the best play-by-play commentator in the history of professional wrestling? His words, not mine. And I hope to God he doesn't mean that. I hope he's just trolling just for the sake of getting fucking attention. But what would you say to having a female be the play-by-play commentator, and then you could have some kind of heel? It doesn't necessarily have to be, the Pope, D'Angelo De Niro, but I can picture something like, because that would just be different. You have a woman be the play-by-play commentator, and then you have some kind of heel. It has to be a man. Be like the heel color guy. Do the color commentary. I just think that would just change up things because nobody else is doing that, and that would be something that's so different. It's just, who do you find though? Who do you get? And I was thinking, there's a lot of people out there, probably even me, who wouldn't mind doing commentary if I couldn't get involved in wrestling, like in the ring. That's something I would love to do. I would love to either do commentary or managing or even producing. I would love to do that. And there's a lot of people that love to do that. You can't tell me there's not some woman somewhere, that doesn't want to be, the play-by-play, commentary for a major wrestling promotion. It's just finding one with a talent, seasoning them and getting them out there. I really think that's something that could really, really work. It was something that could set Impact apart, and it wouldn't be too far-fetched. That's just my 2 cents on it. Booms, which tag team would you have the Hardys face next? Ooh, God. Well, let's see. Consider I just got done watching it. I would probably see Toru Yano and Tomohiro Ishii in New Japan. I would love to see them take on the Revival, but we all know that shit ain't gonna happen. Because we're going by champions here, I'm trying to think in my mind who I'm kind of gonna go through champions here. I don't know. That's the only major champions I can think of. Lucha Underground's only got a trios champions. I don't know who Noah's or All Japan's tag team champions are. Maybe that's another idea. Since they got that working deal with Pro Wrestling Noah, why not a Pro Wrestling Noah tag team? You got that there. Of course, you got other promotions in Mexico. You got AAA, CMLL. There's other local promotions there. Of course, you got up in Canada. You got like Great North Wrestling. Of course, you got CZW, PWG. You've got all these different promotions there. But just because I got done watching, I would probably see Chaos there with better yet, why not Roppongi Vice? There you go. There's Roppongi Vice Hardys. That would work. Or Tomohiro Ishii and Toru Yano, because I want to see what the hell they would do against Ishii, and plus the shenanigans of Yano. Let's see here. So Andy Paps, baby, doesn't have the same effect on you guys. Yeah, it was Marty Elias. Okay. Pro Wrestling Booms and LK on commentary. I'd take that job in a heartbeat. I'd spice it up the best I could. Whew. All right, guys. Yeah, and it was Marty Elias. Okay, I think everybody's everybody's jumping on board my female play-by-play commentary. Why not Why not color? Because I don't know. I just think baby steps. I'm not saying that we should rule out a woman on color commentary, but if you're gonna have like somebody like heel, somebody that's gonna kind of get on your nerves, I would rather not be. I'd rather it not be a woman. I would just rather it be a man, because I kind of like the idea of a woman just being like, dude, you're being ridiculous, because it would kind of be like a husband and wife fighting. It would just be, to me, it would just be hilarious. Whew. Josh Matthews got trolled big time for that, and a lot of people blocked him, LOL. Okay, that makes sense. All right. Wow. It's one hell of a show. I want to thank everybody for the questions and comments. Let's see. Okay, let's go ahead and get some news here. If you got Netflix like I do, you're wondering why Lucha Underground is not on Netflix. Remember, we did a story that was supposed to be on actually yesterday on Wednesday, February the 15th. No, it's looking like it's going to get pushed down to late spring, early summer. They're going to have the first two seasons, so that's going to get pushed back. I'm kind of bummed out about it, but as long as it's going on there, that's all that matters to me. We've got some breaking news here. I'm just now reading this here. Somebody just passed this along to me. We got some breaking news here. Former ECW and WWE wrestler Nicole Bass reportedly passes away. I'm just now seeing this for the first time, so I want everybody to please bear with me here. Nicole Bass, best known for her time in ECW and WWE during the late 1990s, has reportedly passed away. Bass's girlfriend, Kristen Marone, posted the news on Bass's Facebook page Thursday night, saying Bass got, quote-unquote, very sick a few days ago and was brought to the hospital, but there was nothing they could do. She was 52 years old. Bass, who had a very successful career as a professional bodybuilder in the mid-1980s to the mid-1990s, came into wrestling when she debuted in Extreme Championship Wrestling in 1998 and allied with Just Incredible, Chastity, and Jason. I actually remember that. She had a few feuds in ECW where she moved on to the then WWF as Sable's bodyguard, debuting at WrestleMania 15. Bass had a memorable feud with Deborah McMichael and teamed with Val Venus against Deborah and Jeff Jarrett at Over the Edge 1999. Bass left WWE abruptly and then filed a lawsuit claiming that Steve Lombardi, that's the Brooklyn Brawler, sexually assaulted her. The case went to court but was dismissed in 2003. Wow, so that's, oof. I knew she'd been going through some health problems as of late, but I didn't know things were that bad. So if that's true, man, then rest in peace, Nicole Bass. God bless you, and God bless your family. Our thoughts and prayers are certainly with your family here. And we've got some more news here. Apparently, George the Animal Steel is in bad health here. Ellen has posted, I called George the Animal Steel yesterday. His wife answered the phone. I asked if Mr. Steel was there, and she said he was not at home. And then she said, who are you? I told her my name. She said that he may not come home this time. As tears slowly came to my eyes, I told her that everyone loved George the Animal Steel. Hope. Wow. Dude, this is not good. Man, this has just been a rough night here. Let's see. I'm going to continue to kind of scroll through here some news. I mean, I was just looking up one thing and something else totally different just happened here. Shit, I had some stuff already lined up, but wow, that kind of takes the cake there. You know what? Fuck it. I'm not going to top this news. I'm not going to try to do it. I mean, I've got one person possibly dead, another person in bad health. I don't think, anybody's going to really want to care about anything else there. So, wow, it's sad to hear about that. So, anyway, all right, let's compose ourselves here. Let's get through it here. LK is going to be back tomorrow night. He's going to review NXT. I could have reviewed that tonight, but I told him, no, I'll do Impact because it's fresh in my mind. And two, he gets a chance to talk about his Australian internet wrestling wife. You'll know who that is. Let's see. We've also got Monday Night Raw review in the can. We have got WWE SmackDown in the can. Remember, we're going to have full coverage of Fastlane coming up. I've got a review in for New Beginnings in Osaka. If you missed that New Japan pay-per-view, really would recommend you try that out because check it out. That was a fucking good pay-per-view. So check it out there. And in the meantime, you can always check us out at KocoSports.com, KocoSports.com. It's your home for combat sports. It's where the world goes to kick ass, and most importantly, where it's okay to be a passionate fan. Be sure to like, subscribe to us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. We're cranking out these reviews like crazy, so that way you're on top of the action 24 hours a day, no matter where you're at. So everybody, please take care of yourselves. And this is Booms For LK, Dave, and Sammy, the boom just went bang, and I am out.